You're now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod with the dynamic duo of Blaze and Meech, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us studs. This week, we're chopping it up about the unwritten codes between partners, homies, bros. You already know. Let's get into it. Meech, drop the beat. Welcome back to Two Studs in a Pod. You already know it's me, Blaze.
And the homie Meech.
This week, we're getting into the bro code. But before we bump chest, Meech, what did it do with you this week?
This week has been cool. Thank goodness this is one of my weeks that I work from home. So I've been able to be productive in my downtime, like for my own shit, not just work shit. Fortunate to have a job, but there is a lot of downtime for me lately. So just been trying to do other things. This week a lot of people got laid off, which was kind of sad. The other one female that works in my department got laid off. So a little bit more has fallen on my plate, but it is what it is. Thankful to have a job, That's about it. What's been going on with you?
Yeah, I mean, same as you. Thankful to have a job. Things been a little hectic in that front lately. Lately, a lot of back and forth stuff going on there, but you know, just trying to do what I do to the best of my ability, so that they have no choice but to keep me. But to keep me. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Until they don't, till the choice is made otherwise. But that's what it is. We we've been talking about this since before we even bought the place and moved in or whatever. But we bought a pool finally,
Nice.
but it's one of those big, like, it's not an in-ground, obviously it's not an in-ground pool. We bought the pool, but it's gonna be in-ground. Like, we're gonna make it semi in-ground. It can
Okay.
be. So we're gonna make it nice and stuff in the back. So now the issue is digging a hole for this motherfucker. So yeah, because this thing takes like over half of the backyard, and then we're having somebody put it in for us. So like put it together and all that. But the guy's like, I don't dig.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, bro. So we have to dig or figure out how to get this hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's gonna be my next project right now, is trying to figure out exactly where we're gonna place this pool and how am I gonna start digging this giant ass hole in my backyard.
This is one of those times where I need to be out there to help.
Yeah, yo, can you imagine? Like, because everybody knows. I mean, Nikki, like, she might shovel a scoop or two. You know what I'm saying? But so it's like, is this something I really want? I feel like I could do it, but I always feel like I could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I start doing it. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Myself
yes,
into,
and
right?
and then me being the type of person I am, I don't know if it's the Aries in me or whatever, but I'm just like, well, I started this shit. I'm gonna just do it. You know what I'm saying? And do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just used to doing shit by myself, I guess, and just doing it. And then at the same time, like, I'm cheap. If I could do it myself and save that money, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then I think about it too. Like, people could probably use the money. Like, whoever would be willing to dig that hole in this heat and all that.
You might have to go to like Home Depot or see if anybody's looking for work.
Yeah, there's a couple of people.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have to wait for them to come and tell us where to put the where the like the utility lines and stuff like that are.
Oh, okay.
So they come and put little flags in your yard, like about where that wire is, so you don't hit it with the shovel or whatever. Yeah. My people were like, why don't you get a backhoe or something like that? I think. And I'm like, yeah, but have you seen how to operate those things? That's like the thing with the gears, like a video game. I'm like, I don't know about all that. I might bust a pipe or something, you know what I'm saying? So that's my project. That's the upcoming project right now, anyway. Yeah. That, and I'm gonna build planter boxes. So, all right.
Oh, nice.
Like raised garden beds. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. yeah, that's been about it. But I mean, and still obviously quarantining and over this Rona,
Yeah,
over this Rona,
for
um,
real.
as I'm sure we all are. And let's go ahead and get into our first segment, which is Green Peas. Green Peas is a portion of our show where we like to share new trends, podcasts, books, shows, and whatever other new or amusing things we found to keep us entertained, especially right now with everything that's going on. Meech, I'm sure you've read like a book or two or three since we last spoke. So, what's got you intrigued at the moment?
I'm actually reading a book right now. Of course, I can't remember the name of it, but I finished a book that was really good. It was by a lesbian author, and I didn't really know because I had read another like feminist book, and this one came up as a suggestion, and it was by Gabby Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of looked into her a little bit more. She's like, a self-proclaimed baby dyke from the Bronx, which is cool, because I could relate to some of the things that she was saying in the story, which is rare. Not, to the whole story, but it was, about her journey, coming out to her parents, and then her trying to pursue, her dreams, I guess, like she was trying to come into her own. She wanted to be a writer, and she ended up going, to do an internship with like a white woman in like Oregon or something like that who was a feminist writer, and she like fell in love with her book, but then she came to the reality that even though we're all women and they were both feminists, they were still so different because of the difference in cultures in white women, black women, Hispanic women. So it was a really good book, and then I looked into her a little bit more and realized that she wrote some Marvel comics. She wrote the first series of America Chavez,
Mm-hmm.
who is like a newer Marvel character. So I actually picked up those comic books and read them. It was pretty decent. It was dope because the comic book character is a lesbian, and she's a minority. She's I believe she's Puerto Rican. So, it was interesting to see that, there's starting to be some more representations of us out there. She actually has a girlfriend in the comic, a short-lived girlfriend, but it was dope. It just shows there's an avenue and things are opening up for us, um, in
I
the
think we've
world.
all had a short-lived girlfriend, or two, or
Yes,
three.
for real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
it's ironic. Does she live in California now?
yeah, she does.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I started listening to she has a podcast
yeah, she has a
actually.
podcast as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm always like looking for podcasts and other podcasts to listen to and things like that. And hers Joy Revolution was actually one that I came across. So I just started listening to it
Mhm.
today, as a matter of fact. So I'm probably like in the middle of episode 2. So yeah, that's kind of funny that we both came across that. Um,
Right.
Other than that, have you been watching anything or any other podcasts that you've been listening to?
No, I haven't been listening to any podcast. I checked out her podcast, after I finished the book, but other than that, I haven't been checking out any podcasts. I know you tend to listen to more podcasts than I do.
Yeah, I kind of have my podcast that I listen to already, but once like some of them are on hiatus right now, and or there's a lot of days and a lot of hours where I'm
Right.
working, so I try that's what I mostly listen to. Some days it's a music day, but um lately it's been other podcasts and things like that. So uh yeah, that's probably the newest podcast that I've been listening to
Oh,
right
okay.
now. And I haven't really been reading anything, so you still have the bookworm title on that one.
It's okay. I'll take it.
I'm trying to think of some things that we watched. We watched Instant Family on I don't know if it was Amazon Prime or Netflix, but that was um that was interesting with Mark
Mhm.
Wahlberg, Marky Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw previews for that. I've been just watching like my usual shows like How to Get Away with Murder
Mm.
and For Life, that 50 Cent produced show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one
Yeah.
actually. I haven't watched that.
That one, it was pretty decent. The finale happened not too long ago, so it was a decent show. But Other than that, like I've been reading. So when I'm in my reading mode, I just kind of try to stick to books and not too much TV.
I did watch and just recently finished Waco,
Okay.
which was uh, an account of what happened in Waco. I mean, like people, I guess our generation would have some kind of vague memory of that situation,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was told from the point of view. I guess it was adapted from two different books, and it was from the point of view of one of the people who was inside, one of the Branch Davidians, and then one of the FBI guys from the outside, the negotiator point. And so that was like, I don't know, it was interesting and weird and slightly giving you flashbacks to being a kid and
Mm-hmm.
hearing about the whole Waco situation. But yeah, so that's what what's been keeping me entertained for the most part. Between that and then the live battles,
Oh yeah.
those have been pretty good. So yeah, enjoy those. Turn those into date nights and all that
Yeah, definitely.
and all that good stuff. Um, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for Green Peas this week. And after a quick virtual fist bump, let's get into our next segment, which is Stew Peas, where we get into the topic of the week. And this week, we're getting into the unwritten bro code between two studs, affectionately called bros for hoes. Oh, I'm sorry. Affectionately called bros before hoes. Not bros for hoes. That's a different.
That's a whole different
That's a
topic.
whole different. Yes. Seriously, though, there are certain codes that good bros, stud or otherwise, tend to govern their friendship by. At least us older millennial studs. First and foremost, the first one being you're not messing with the homie's girl, anybody your homie's interested in, or definitely not your homie's ex.
Oh hell no, definitely not.
Right. Like that is
Ain't that much
so
love in the world.
yo. And I'll tell you, like girls will try it. Like girls will really, really try it. And I've had friends who end up messing with my ex girl, and I'm like, yo, are you
Oh
serious? Like,
wow.
yes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see. I haven't. It was this girl I was with. I wasn't really with her for that long, but we were together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it was a little over a year, and everybody knew we were together or whatever. And after we broke up, and the shiesty shit was like my homie used to be with us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
wow.
and used to go out and hang out with us and shit. But we would go here and there, go to the club. This was, I mean, early 20s, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt real at the time, like
Yeah.
it's serious. And here we are hanging out, chilling, doing all that good shit, and then me and her break up. Me and the homie, you know what homies do after you break up with somebody, y'all going out all the time, doing all that. So that was me and this person, this was my partner. And then she got missing and missing for a minute. And then I finally bumped into her again, and there they were in the club together
Damn.
as a couple. Yeah,
That's trash. That's
yeah,
whack.
yeah, yeah, bro. Yes.
Bro code violation.
I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I would never violate. That's
Nah. I couldn't.
yeah, like, and then like as a love interest, I remember this was before. This was like me and you didn't really know each other yet,
Mhm.
and Daddy was the link or whatever. And I remember us going out to the spot one time, and I was just sitting there chilling, hanging out, and this chick that you were interested in, I was talking to her, but that's because she was there with the girl that Daddy was interested in. So
Oh
we
right,
were
right,
all just
yeah.
there like talking. You know what
Uh
I'm saying? Like I don't have any interest in what's going on. So
huh.
Daddy comes to me and is like, "Yo, that's Meech's girl," and I was like, okay, okay. Like,
Being daddy.
yes. I was like, okay, like I'm just sitting here drinking my rum and coke. Okay. Like I
Right.
don't even know what's going
Oh
on.
man.
Yes. And I never ever.
Now I feel like I wouldn't have cared.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean hindsight is
Yeah,
2020, but
right, right.
yeah,
I didn't know daddy was
yeah. Have you ever had one of your homies girls like try to fuck with you?
I when I was younger, yeah, one of my homeboys, like he was really feeling this girl, and we used to work together, all three of us. And apparently they were talking, and like me, I'm friendly, like I'm cool with everybody. So me and the girl, we were cool. At least that's what I thought it was. And we were just chilling, hanging out, and all three of us were hanging out. And then one time, I think we got to the spot before my homeboy, and she was like talking to me like she was interested in girls and she wanted to get with me, and I was like, oh nah, I'm not doing, like, my homeboy likes you,
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean, like I'm not doing that. I don't do that, bros before hoes, like you know what I mean. I wouldn't do that to him at
Nah.
the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
shit.
then I found out, and then recently, actually, I was feeling this girl, but I didn't want nothing serious with her.
Mm.
And one of my homeboys, like we were cool, and he was, he was kind of awkward. He could tell he didn't really get with too many girls, like whatever. But we were all, we used to work out together, so he had a crush on her. I'm being disrespectful in the gym, like, yeah, I'd hit it, yeah, blah blah blah, because I was single.
Right.
She was bad. Everybody knew she was bad, and I was like, yeah, and everybody knew she was kind of feeling me. But then, like when I found out, like my homeboy, he like really, really liked her. Like he was serious and he wanted to like marry this girl. Like he's that type of dude. I just backed off and I was like, you could talk to her. Like I'm not hurting for
Yo,
no girl right now.
yo, you just reminded me when you said that. You made me think about back in the day. Uh, it was this dude that he used to we used to work together. Like this is when I was in the call center, the infamous call center, and we used to work together. And then it ended up him and his baby mama and his baby, of course, ended up living in my same apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, his side hustle, he was the connect. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if I need to get trees or whatever, uh, that was the connect. So it became convenient that he needed a ride to work, to and from
Mm-hmm.
work, and I needed a connect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we exchange goods and services like that, and to the point where we became cool. Like I would go to his spot and chill. Like I was dolo in my apartment. You know what I'm saying? So I would go to his spot and chill when he was there by himself or whatever, and it was everything was all good, and then like so I had this homegirl who was working at the job, and and I didn't know that she knew him like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day he was like, "Oh, can you give me a ride up here?" Blah blah blah. He was gonna, have some. They was gonna be a chill thing, like people was gonna be having drinks after work and smoking and shit. And he was like, "You want to come through? You can come through because I need to make this drop off." So I was like, "All right, yeah, sure, I'll come." And it was homegirl. So we hanging out or whatever, and next thing you know, homegirl and I on the low start vibing, like
Mm-hmm.
in a, you know what I'm saying, like over
Yeah.
time and all this shit, cause we just vibing. And then so Buddy thinks that she has a connection with him, so he's telling me, mind you, he got a baby mama. He's telling
Oh
me, he's
damn.
like, "Yo, I think she feeling me." Blah blah blah. Like this would be on our way home from the from the
Yeah.
spot. Like, "Yo, I think she feeling me." Blah blah blah. The whole time I'm like, "Bruh, if you only knew what
Right.
she's like saying to me, trust me, she's not, she's not feeling you." Please
It's not
believe me.
happening. It's not
Yeah,
going down.
yeah. That was a time when I was like, "Yo," I mean, that wasn't his love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have a more serious time where my homie's girl was like, I don't know if they were like on drugs. I don't know what the fuck the situation was, but I know
Mm-hmm.
we went out and she's telling me to my face, she's like, "Yo, I think you are so fucking sexy." Blah blah blah. We in the club,
Oh damn.
and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I just like try to ignore it. So like we're dancing in the club, and she keeps trying to like dance with me too. And I'm like, we are
Yeah.
not about to try to run a train on your ass. Like this is not what's about to happen. That's not how it's going down. So then on the way back, like I was in the front seat, she was in the back seat. Yo, she was reaching her hand up through the crack.
Oh no.
Yes, and like trying to grab on me, and I'm like, yo, like slide her hand away, but not trying to let my homie know because I didn't want to like
Right.
break my homie's heart. You know what I'm saying? Like this
Yeah.
nigga was in
Oh.
love. And I was like, I can't. What is happening right now? Like, why is this
Yeah.
happening to me? Yes.
Yo,
Uh,
that's wild.
yeah, trust me. And I was like, I can't, these people got to be on drugs because what's going on? But, yes. I talk about daddy though, but daddy did cover for me, like when I was doing my dirt in certain
Oh
points of
yeah.
time. Yeah. Like, have you ever covered for a homie with their girl? Like, if they was doing dirt or like, that's bro code right there. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, you just be
definitely.
like, yo, I'm with you. You
Yeah,
know what
and
I'm
you just
saying?
be like, "Yep, I got you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's bro code. But
Even if I didn't get the warning and I see like a number come across or a text, the first thing I'm doing is like texting or calling my homie like, "Yo, where the fuck you at?"
right, right. Like, yeah, she
Yeah.
with me, and then and then whatever happens afterwards. I mean, back in my shiesty days, I was definitely bro code. I definitely had a bro for that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Always. And
The
I
good
mean,
old days.
I was fucked up. I was fucked up. I was a fuck boy. Those are my fuck boy days for sure. But
Yeah.
yes, yes, covering for the homie. That's definitely a thing. Um, and what about still chilling? Like, your girl does not like your friend.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like, if it's bros before hoes, then what do you do in that situation?
That's tough. I mean, I've dealt with that with, a couple of my crazy exes. But that's their own insecurities. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, this person has been here before you and will most likely be here after you.
Right.
So I'm
Like,
not
you kicking
gonna
me out. This who's helping me move my shit.
exactly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I would always still find time to chill with the homies, whether I told her what I was doing or not. But yeah, I don't think I'm always gonna be there for my friends because they've been there for me. Like the right ones. If they drop me, like, and I'm understanding too. Like I get it. If one of my homies has some, is dealing with a female that doesn't like me, I
It
won't.
is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't put no pressure. I know the friendship is still there. Like we still communicate and we still hang out when we can. But it's always bros for
I had a
hoes.
situation with a girl I was with, and she didn't want me to have nobody in my life but her. Like,
Damn.
that was it. But she definitely didn't want me to have my homies in my life. So only the people who she knew and dudes. Like, dudes she was alright with, but other females,
Yeah.
nah, she was not trying to
Damn.
have all that. So it was crazy though, because when she booted me out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like grabbing all my shit and trying to find some place to go. She didn't think that I would have some place to go because she didn't realize, like, I still kept my friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my friends are my friends regardless. Like, so even if I don't see them every day, I don't have to see them for whatever. Like, we still chit chat here and there. And if I need a place to stay, I always got a place to stay. And
Yeah.
that's what it was.
And I
Homegirl
kind
was
of feel
very
like the
tight.
homies know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you with somebody that's secure or whatever, like they know that you'll be able to come around and whatever, but they know like if she's a crazy one or if she don't want you around, like usually they don't, you're understanding to that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I felt fucked up because of that situation one time because the girl didn't like my friend. But and like, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been the friend that somebody didn't like.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I know Nikki likes me.
Well, she knew you first, so that was the
Yeah.
that was a plus.
Thank God.
That sound means it's time for the segment we like to call Too Many Peas in the Pod. This is the part of the show where we like to answer a few of the questions we've received and share with y'all some of the comments and reviews we've gotten from our listeners. But this week, I thought we would change it up a little bit and answer this question I
Question.
saw browsing through the internets. And the question is it okay to stay with someone you've fallen out of love with to keep up your lifestyle?
Oh, that's a good one.
No, because think about it, like, so many people going through it right now,
Yeah.
and you really looking at this person you've been with and you don't know if you want to be with them or not. But, like, what if you got yourself to a point where it's just you can't be by yourself, you know what I mean? Like, some
Yeah.
people put themselves in that type of situation. I mean, I joke about it, but I would be straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
always be all
That's how I feel too.
I'm always be all right. But
Yeah.
So I would never be with somebody because of a lifestyle, but I don't know. Is that okay? Like, is it okay for somebody to do that?
I don't think it's okay. Like me personally, I don't think it's okay. Like you should be able to hold your own by yourself regardless, and that's how I operate. But I do know somebody who is in a situation like that, and both her and her partner are well off. Like they have really great jobs, they make good money, and they were breaking up, and one of them wanted to stay because she is accustomed to a certain lifestyle and driving certain cars and living in a certain size house, but it wasn't working out. She wasn't in love with her anymore, but she wanted to stay with her. And I'm like, that's shallow to me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Why would you keep stringing somebody along that you're not in love with anymore for material things? That just shows where your head is at.
So I'm saying, like, if you're not in love with that person, then are you even happy? Like, are you even happy?
Right.
Like, okay, you're driving what, a Lexus instead of a Toyota or a Mazda because you are together, but is it worth it?
Right.
Like, in the long run, like, is it really worth it to be sacrificing your happiness like that? Like, I don't think so. I mean, that's the ultimate.
Yeah. Because then that'll lead to other problems. You're gonna end up cheating. You know what I mean, or whatever. There's gonna be a lot of fights because you're unhappy. Like I
Yeah,
don't think it's worth it.
yeah, exactly. Well, that was definitely an interesting one I came across, and I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say on the subject. Um, I like to give a shout out to our Pod All the Time podcast network team. Uh, keep doing what y'all doing. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Don't forget to find us on IG and Twitter at Two Studs in the Pod. For a behind the scenes look at life beyond the pod, follow Meech on IG at the homie Meech and on Twitter at homie Meech, and myself at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me Blaze 2 on Twitter. You can always hit us up at our email with any questions, comments, or show ideas at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. Two Studs in a Pod is streaming on major podcast platforms including Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, and Overcast. Gratitude is always the attitude. So we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.